Hey there, this is Malorian, and this is going to be a couple of War Machine battle reports, both at 50 points, and both times with Cygnar. I'm trying out two new casters now, trying out some new builds, and the first one here I'm going to be trying out is eHaley. Now, I played a couple of games before with her, but that was more of the shooty list. This is actually more of a combat variant. So what I have going for myself is I have eHaley running Thorn, I have the Precursor Knights with UA, I have Gorman, I have the Storm Blades that have the UA and two Gunners, I have Rupert, I have the Squire, I have the Nis and Nis Hunters, I have Anastasia Debray, and I also have the Storm Guard. So lots and lots and lots of infantry. It's almost like the same way I run Stryker 2, but really I just go up, pop feet, so they can't really do anything, and I'm just guaranteed the alpha. So pretty awesome. Meanwhile, on the other side is going to be Father Luc. So again, my my knowledge of convergence is low, but I know that Luc is supposed to be good against Cygnar, but I think I lucked out here because it's usually actually he's good against shooting. He has a lot of the medium base stuff, so I'm really not going to say what the things are. If you're a convergence player, then you'll know what they're called. If not, you know. But this is a tier 4, and really my plan is just what it sounds. Go up there, pop feet, and start beating these guys up. Now, the scenario is the first one to 5. You get 1 point for controlling and 2 points for dominating. So really, I'm actually looking more to a scenario victory here. I'm going to rush up, pop feet, TK his stuff out of the zones, and really look to get points that way. So I get first turn, which is pretty easy when I get the +1. It actually turns out he had the +1 as well, but Cygnar takes it. And really, I'm just moving up. I got Dirge and Miss up on my Nis Hunters. And otherwise, yeah, I'm just trying to get as much of the board as humanly possible. On his turn, a little bit blurry here, but he moves up as well. He has the spell up so that units within Luc's control range will be +2 armor and +2 defense against shootings. That makes him pretty damn tough. A lot of his stuff spreading out, being in shield wall and stuff like that. And really, when he first did this, I was trying to figure out what do I do. I was probably just going to run up and pop my feet. Maybe I could go and shoot down a couple of models or something. But then he decides to pop his feet. So what that does is adds +4 armor to all those guys. And now I know. I don't need to even really worry about trying to kill somebody. Maybe with like a big combine from the Nis, I might do a little bit of damage. But otherwise, yeah, I'm just going to go up. I'm just going to pop feet, make it so he's kind of stuck, and then go for it. And the really big one I'm looking at is the right zone, because he only has one model in there. And if I can really lock him out with the Nis, that could be pretty awesome. So that's what I do. I do an assault with the Storm Blades to try and do a little bit of damage, but that doesn't really do anything. For the most part, I'm just kind of getting guys in the way. I do a big combine into the one guy that was in the zone. I kill him, but looking back, I think the Nis should have actually just ran just again to position. But meh, what can you do? Otherwise, eHaley is moving up. I have the same spell up, so we're +2 armor and defense against shooting. I've also popped my feet, which cuts pretty much everything that's not like the furthest 3 models on the right. So for the most part, we're looking pretty good. Precursor Knights are in shield wall. For the most part, he can't really do any attacks against me. One of the things he can do is he can do attacks against the Storm Blades. Now, that looks like a waste, where I'm just kind of like throwing 2 guys away. But the big thing I didn't want him to do was really just to kind of move up into me. I wanted him to stay back as much as possible so that I control the most amount of the board. So I'm throwing away 2 guys to tempt him into just standing there and attacking. And it works. Those medium guys with kind of like the halberd things attack him and only kill 1 model. So I kind of lucked out there. Otherwise, he really just kind of moved up. Did a little bit of shooting with the Jack on the right, which killed a Storm Guard or 2. But otherwise, that's really it. So, you know, the feat did what it needs to. And yeah, now I'm looking to be in a good spot where on the right, he put 2 Jacks into there. But if I zip over Thorn, I can just TK them out, and I'm going to start scoring. So that's what I do. Thorn zips on over there, and I do some TKs. I'm able to get both of the Jacks outside of the zone. Once I do that, the Nis and the Storm Guard go and charge in, and I destroy this Light Jack. Don't really do much at all to the rest of the stuff. Kill a couple of the medium infantry there. They have Dirge on them again too. Meanwhile, on the left, I go and I do an assault with the Storm Blades, knowing I'll do a little bit of damage, but the big thing is I knew is that once I did the espionage, then I do even more. However, you can see there that I did not get within 5. Unfortunately, I could have probably got a lot closer. I ran out of focus because I tried TKing Gorman, and then once I realized everything messed up here, I saw that Gorman wouldn't be able to do his black oil anyway. So if I would have done the TK on her, maybe she would have been in range. Probably last turn she should have been farther up. But either way, kind of an opportunity loss. I thought I was going to really do a lot of damage, but there you go. Meanwhile, on the left side, Precursor Knights charge in, and they do a good amount of damage. I score a point, and I'm feeling pretty good. So on his turn, he does what he can, but on the right side, I mean, those Nis Hunters at +1 defense are pretty hard to kill. Even then, he was able to do some pretty good work to me, but then he starts killing off tons of my Storm Blades. So, that's what happens. We kind of mess up the espionage. Also killed off Anastasia Debray, and then LeConte is coming at me too. You know, he's coming in, doing some work, but, you know, it's just because he's getting kind of desperate, right? He couldn't get into the zone on the right. I'm going to score on his turn to be on 2. On my turn, I could score again at least once. I can be, you know, moving in the Storm Guard again to make sure he's really not going to get in the zone, and then eventually just run in to dominate again. So he's really getting desperate, but the way it is, I'm pretty much lined up where I can kill him. So that's what I do. I TK him, turn him around, hit him with a time bomb, black oil him, and then after some charges from some Precursor Knights doing the mini feat, that is a dead LeConte. So really, looking back on the game, I really like this combat version of eHaley. I think it's competitive, and plus I think it's also more interesting for the opponent. I mean, when it's the shooty version, it's just a real kick in the nuts, right? I just shoot you up, shoot, 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 shoot. But this, at least we're mixing it up, right? So hopefully, let me know if which one you like, whether you think that this list is okay. But now I'm going to be testing out another list. So now I'm going to my double Stormwall list, which is actually me now testing it with Stryker. You know, there's a lot of people that like running it with Darius and stuff like that, but looking back on it, I like running it with Stryker because a lot of times I find with Darius, I get them destroyed before I can even get them repaired. But meanwhile, with Stryker, I can be using the feat to be +5 armor, so I shouldn't be losing them anyway. And then during the meantime, I actually have some really good support spells that I can be using as well. However, I'm now up against my brother, who is a very good opponent, and he's going to be using his eDenny tier, so that's why I already have some upkeeps on me at the start of the game. So we're doing the same mission, just a different table, different terrain. What I have for my side is Stryker running 2 Storm Walls, and then I have the Black 13th, I have the Gun Mages with UA, I have Junior, who is running the unpainted Storm Wall, so sorry, just 1 Storm Wall underneath Stryker. Then I also have Strange Ways and 1 Stormcaller, and that's 50 points. On his side, so this is the new Denny tier, so he's going to be having Nightmare, he's going to have Deathjack, all those Mind Dredges up in the front. In the back, he's going to have all the Mechanothralls and all those crazy, funky things. A couple of Sirens back there, Ragman, the Scarlock, you know, the usual stuff you'd see here. 2 of the models are Bane Thralls, but they're just dredges. He just forgot 2 of the models at home. Same scenario, like I said from last time, and for his upkeeps, he already has it so that my Gun Mages are basically -2 defense. The left Storm Wall has the 1 Pursuit on it, so if I move, someone from his battle group gets to move. And then the right one has one where I'm -2 armor, and he can move through me without free strikes. So really what I'm planning to do here is play it safe. Actually, he won the role to pick sides, and he liked the side over there. I think it's because he has that building that he gets to hide behind, but I thought that was fantastic because otherwise the walls that were over there were going to cause some trouble between the walls and the building for Stryker to get around. And I'm really worried with this tier about getting locked out of the zones. So with me getting to go first, I'm just going to be rushing up there, try and get my toe in the zone, and then just try and keep him out. And slowly try an attrition, and it's going to be a grinder. So like I said, I get first turn, I put Arcane Shield up onto both Storm Walls, they rush up. He uses the Pursuit to move Deathjack a little bit closer. I was hoping he'd actually come to the point where I could shoot him or something, but he didn't do that. Meanwhile, I put Snipe onto the Black 13th, which is awesome. I put Blur onto the Gun Mages. The Black 13th, go and shoot the little mage shot thing, and it kind of scatters to there. And that's really my turn. So on his side, he's just really coming at me. One of the things I was kind of worried about is whether he actually could get his feet on my Storm Walls first turn, which would force me to throw some stuff into the zones. But luckily, because of that swamp and because he pursued with Deathjack and not with eDenny, he was not able to do that. So he did not pop the feet, and now I can actually get a toe in the zone. So that's what I do. Each of the Storm Walls go and just take a little tiptoe into the zone there to make sure they're locked down, putting down their covering fire, and I get 3 of their big shots into Deathjack, which, after some boosted damage, destroys his movement. So that is absolutely huge. Meanwhile, I shoot out a pod that gets into a nice position on the left, so I was able to shoot it with Ryan to get a big blast in there. So that's really going to cause him troubles on the left for trying to move around those templates, because, you know, if you go in any of those circles, it's a POW 12. Meanwhile, on the right, a pod does a little bit of damage. My gun mages do a little bit of damage. I throw one gun mage up there just to gum things up, but it's the slow attrition. And really, the main thing I was trying to target with my shots was trying to kill off the little guys from the Stitch Thralls that helped them get the Corp tokens, but was having a little bit of trouble. I was not able to, you know, they're pretty high defense, so I was able to kill, I think, 1 of them, but that's really it. So on his turn, he sends Nightmare after the right jack and does some damage, takes out my right side, or my left side, but that's why I have the Strange Ways there. I thought about feeding last turn, but with only Nightmare able to get to me, I figured I didn't really need it, and I think I made the right call there. Otherwise, he moves up to me the best he can. He is currently in Corporal with eDenny, and he has popped the feet, but because he's staying a little bit back, the only models under the feet are the 2 Storm Walls and the 1 Gun Mage. You can see the little tokens I put there, so that's really not that bad. So really now at this next turn, I'm going to be looking at feeding, destroying Nightmare, trying to destroy more of these guys. I mean, one of the things that's awesome is that because of these templates on the left, he's forced to really bunch together, which makes Ryan's shot even more devastating. Alright, so on this turn here, I really wanted to kill some key pieces, namely Deathjack, so I allocate there what I can, upkeep all the other stuff. But really what happens is that I go with the left one first. It's going to shoot a pod over there. I do some covering fires, do some more little shots into things, just try and do my best to whittle things down. Then I come over here with Ryan, and again, I'm trying to do some shots over here. I shoot the 1 pod, turn it into the big mage shot. That kills tons of his guys, so that's awesome. However, I realize at this point that I've destroyed the pod, which would have been nice to have there for triangulation. So I'm going to have to do now the right Storm Wall, who shoots a pod over there, doesn't damage the Nightmare in order to disrupt it. So that's okay. I do some other damage. Start punching Nightmare, but I leave him with like 2 boxes, and one of those is Cortex. So that wasn't really good. I wanted that gone. So I come up with the Stormcaller, start calling down lightning, and I fail my skill test. So that really sucked. In fact, all 3 models I was going to hit with my triangulation, I failed the skill test on them all. So that was pretty horrible. Strange Ways, of course, fixed the one on the right. I popped feet with Stryker, And yeah, so I'm +5 armor everywhere, which is pretty awesome. And that's going to be needed because I got all those guys coming on the right side. So really, I had then a decision to make. Either the gun mages, I could throw them in to hold back the wave, or I could hold them back to save them to do some more shooting later. Now, the call I made was to pull them back because I'm under feet. He's not going to really hurt me anyway, and I should be okay, right? Like, I'm armor 27 right now, so it's pretty legit. I leave the one there that I had to, and he's kind of convenient anyway because he's kind of protecting Strangeways. But yeah, I'm not going to have that flood of models coming at me. So on his turn, yeah, you can really see the flood of models coming from over there. He comes over and tries to kill Strangeways because he's able to walk through me with Nightmare. But in doing so, because of my +5 armor, and he has pretty good armor anyway, he actually fails to kill Strangeways. So that was pretty awesome. I remember, too, that his arms are down, so that really hurt him. He comes in, he does some more shadow binding to me, so that kind of sucks. He actually shadow binds both my guys here, so I can't remember if I said if somebody came in before, but yeah, both my storm walls are shadow bound, which isn't that big of a deal. I don't really need to go anywhere anyway. But really, it's just swarm, swarm, swarm. Guys are coming at me from both sides, and I got to really deal with this. So I think I do a pretty good job of it. If you can see there, especially on the left side, I really kill lots of the guys. You know, one part that really helps is just shooting these guys down, right? I have all these shots, and I have the big Mage Blight shot. I was getting work done even with Junior, putting shots in there too. The pod zapping a bunch of guys. So really liking how it's going on the left, just slowly attritioning those guys down, and still having the templates to hold them back. It's almost at the point here too, I figure if I really went after it, I might even be able to start scoring on the left. Meanwhile, on the right, Strangeways knows he's going to die, so he goes in there to fix one last time. I'm able to kill one of the Warwitch Sirens, but the other one I was not able to kill with the pod, so that was unfortunate. Stryker, I have to dedicate, so he charges in and kills the Nightmare, so it was good to have him done. And otherwise, on the right side, I do the best I can to start whittling down the horde, but there is just so many guys, and pretty much my gun mages are going to die now, but yeah, there's just so many dudes. So, otherwise, then on his turn, he thinks about it for a while, but whether he can kill Stryker through a magical assassination, but it's just not possible. So instead, Denny is incorporeal again, and she's off on the right side. He starts charging into my storm wall, doing a little bit of damage, but he's kind of stuck for his range there, but still he does some okay damage to me. He also shadow binds me again. Otherwise, he comes after my gun mages, kills all but 2. He gets 2 of his drudges to run and just to engage Stryker. And on the left side again, just run, run, run. One of the guys is able to engage Watts and Lynch, but for the most part, again, it's not too bad. I got to really stem the flow of dudes on the right. But then again, if he sends too many of them down and around, I can start scoring. So on that note, I decide I'm going to start really pushing on the left side. 1, because I think I can score, and 2, because I need to go that way to get away from all the dudes anyway. So really, I just keep a lot of the focus onto Stryker. I don't really need much of the upkeeps anymore anyway, just keeping the 2 shields up. And really what happens here is I need to kill the guys in the combat there with Ryan or Watson Lynch. I'm able to do a big blast to kill some. The Stormwall comes up and starts doing some damage with the punching and electro leaping. I get shots in from Junior. I got Stryker that just ran over there. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to quite do it. He has still one more Stitch Thrall and Stitch Surgeon or whatever. But really, the left side looking pretty damn good. I failed to kill the damn Siren again, so that was unfortunate. And really just trying to do the shots over here to kill whatever I could. Putting up the cover fire. I mean, that's the main thing. I would love to be punching and doing electro leaps and stuff, but I needed that one cover fire down there to help protect Junior. So yeah, I had to do what I could, and it's not too bad. So on his turn, the rush is still coming at me. Now he's really getting a lot of attacks on the right storm wall. However, I'm still pretty good armor, so I'm able to tank it, and I'm still alive with all my systems running, so that's pretty awesome. Otherwise, he's still bringing back dudes on the left side and coming at me, and he's not even really bothering to attack my gun mages anymore, because at this point, he's actually starting to run low on time. So on my turn, I'm still going for clearing. I'm not sure. It's on the other side of my storm wall, so I don't know if I finally kill it or not, that last Warwitch Siren. But really on the left side, I really go for as much as I can to try and wipe it out, and I fail. However, there's only the Surgeon left, so he can't bring anybody back anymore. I don't score, but I'm pretty damn close to it, and really the left side is really mine now. Otherwise, punching and electro leaps do some pretty good damage at the bottom. Junior running over to the zone to try and stay safe. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So on his turn here, he's doing his best to kind of come at me with eDenny, trying to threaten me. So coming over here all camped and everything. But yeah, same thing, kind of coming after my storm wall, doing the damage he can, but there's just not very much he can do. And then this is going to be the last picture of the game. So really what happens is I'm able to clear out the zone on the left and score a point. I start doing some shots into eDenny as well with my magical shooting, doing a little bit of damage. But really now I've swapped over the one arcane shield to Stryker. He's just running away to stay alive. On the right side, I keep on killing more dudes here. And I'm almost at the point actually where I scored on that zone as well. But at this point here, we call it because he's pretty much out of time. Plus, there's not really much he can do. I'm already scoring points. He's running out of dudes. And he was a little bit upset because he didn't feel there was much he could do. But you know what? I didn't have any sympathy after all the years of being assaulted by statistics raiders and banes and blah, 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 blah. So it felt good to get the win. I'd be interested to see if you guys like this type of Stryker list and whether it does well with the double storm wall, better than Darius. But either way, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you later. Bye.